Good afternoon. Look up at the corner of the computer and find out that it's afternoon already. Today is the 29th of November in the Pope Gregory calendar. And so the Mayan calendar has a relationship to the Pope Gregory calendar in that the Pope Gregory calendar is 365 days in a year, and the Mayan calendar has 364 days in a year, plus a day without time. It's the way that they've created the calendar. I'm sure if they weren't trying to keep it in relationship to the Pope Gregory calendar, there'd be another way of working with it. But the Mayan calendar does go according to natural cycles, like lunar cycles are 28 days. So in the Mayan calendar, a month is 28 days. And so instead of 12 months in the Pope Gregory calendar, there are 13 months of 28 days. And each month is related to a lunar tone, and there are 13 lunar tones, and there are 20 solar kin. And this was all devised by the prophet Pakal Votan. He was also referred to as the time engineer. He was the one that calculated these times of our planet cycling around our sun, cycling around the central sun in a 26,000 approximately year orbit. So 13,000 years is a half cycle, and it typically is like the yin and yang symbol represents this cycle. 13,000 years are male consciousness inside the earth, female consciousness around the earth. And then 13,000 years cycle approximately of a female consciousness, a female being in the earth, and a male energy surrounding the earth. We're coming out of that 13,000 year cycle, which can be referred to as a patriarchal cycle. The energies of the earth surrounding the earth, male dominant. We're in the process of a 28-year cycle of cleansing that is leading to the initiation of the 13,000 years of feminine energies being around the earth, masculine energies being in the earth. And like the yin-yang symbol, always there is the feminine within the masculine within the feminine, little dots of both is the way they do the symbol. So we all have male and female energies within our system. Female bodies can give birth to new life forms. Male bodies add some genetics and maybe some child care providing in some balanced relationships. And I'm Steve, and what does this have to do with the Mayan calendar? Well, the Mayan calendar is based on this movement of planets around our central sun, around our sun, around the central sun. So all this movement that's going on around our sun is going around the central sun. in a 26,000 approximately year orbit. I mean, it's like something like 25,625. I could find it somewhere, but 26,000 year cycle, if it's 25,625, it's just really, how they even calculated it is kind of somewhat beyond my understanding, but they did. But what's, to me, and to you, hopefully more important, is how does this affect us? Because by knowing, I'm not a person who understands astrology. So people who understand astrology, ascendants, squares, trines, sun sign, all of that. I understand sun sign. That's basically my understanding. I don't know if I understand it, but I just know that when I was born, it was in a particular part, the stars were aligned in such a way that I was considered a Capricorn. That's what I know. And if I had been born later, I would have been an Aquarius. If I had been earlier, I would have been a Sagittarius. That's about what I know about astrology. And what I know about the Mayan calendar is based on what I've read and studied over the past. Well, I started being interested in the Mayan calendar in the 80s. So I know it was sometime between 84 and 88. And I'm going to guess it was around 86 or 87 that I had someone come and introduce me to the Mayan calendar. And, Jose Arguelles, I think, was bringing this information into consciousness. It seemed interesting to me. I did some study of it at the time. Didn't really get it. And probably 20 years ago, it came back into my consciousness. I looked at it again. I began to get some understanding of it. And I've kind of followed through on that over a period of time. So what I've discovered more and more as I study the calendar, and on a daily basis, I check in. One of the things I've discovered is that prophet, sage, king, time engineer Paco Vatan talked about that there is this 260-day cycle. So that's about 2/3 of a year. And in that 260-day cycle, there's 52 days where the cosmic rays, the Galactic Activation Portal opens up, and these new energies come in and stream through our system and have an effect of change on us on multiple levels of consciousness. There's 52 of these days a year, and they're not broken up evenly. Matter of fact, in October, I should probably look at this to give you the exact dates, to go back to so on October 21st, so this is November, so over a month ago, 5 weeks ago, on October 21st, a period of 10 days of galactic activations took place. And you might remember that as a pretty interesting period of time, from October 21st to October 30th. There were 10 days of these energies coming through and creating change. It started with a White Worldbridger, which I'm going to read about today. That was the first day. And it ended with a blue eagle. So we're going to go through this process, and it might seem a little tedious to you, all this information. You may have some of it, but I think it really will help you to understand and me to understand as I bring it through what this may mean to us, which is, I think, what's important. What does this mean to us as human beings going through one of the most dramatic changes in the history of the planet? We are. Okay. So today is the day before the next cycle of 10 days of Galactic Activation Portals. So you'll find out. And if you know that you're looking for something, you'll pay attention to what's happened really this month leading up to this day. I've just been going through rapid changes, just things flying off of me, beliefs and ideas and constructs, just brew, old emotional traumas, just flying off. So tomorrow's the day that the 10 days of Galactic Activation start. Today is a Red Serpent Day. The red serpent has to do with the crown chakra, the opening. And the red serpent is about survival, life force, and instinct. And John Lee, who I think was a musician, maybe a jazz musician, but whatever, I think he was a musician, he has said that he has learned that the body listens to rhythms the mind can't even hear. Red serpent represents our primal nature, our instinctual body, wisdom, and sensuality, creativity, and passion. Serpent, think of the spine represented by the serpent. Those energies moving up and down the spine, the spirally energies of the serpent, up and down the spine. Kundalini rising, consciousness rising, the crown chakra opening, our relationship to the oneness, to the universe, to the one consciousness takes place through the crown. Information comes in through the crown chakra from the higher realms. Information comes in of our earthly realms through the chakras in the bottom of the feet. So that energy is continually coming in from the earth. This energy is continually coming in from the oneness. Serpent reminds us to center in our earthly vehicles. State out loud, I connect to the deep self, and find yourself centering in your earthly vehicle, but in your spiritual, the earthly container of your spiritual being. Honoring them as incredible sensual mechanisms, recognizing that our bodies offer us infinite opportunity for experience. They are our living temples, our one and only home for this lifetime. As our partners in life, our bodily vessels invite us to nourish ourselves, to ground, to breathe, to stretch, to move, to dance, to feel, to discover, to physically express, and above all, to sense. To be creatures, not intellects. Creatures, not intellect. To sense. To attune. To be aware of our environment. To take in information and check whether it seems like it is accurate from our sensing. Follow the body. It has a language all its own. Intimately connected to our soul. Our serpent bodies and its senses are gateways to that which lies beyond the body, offering themselves as a conduit to access the greater wholeness, oneness. As a tool and guide, our bodies are our allies in self-intimacy, renewal, and empowerment. Life force is our vitality. Every moment, the decisions we make impact our store of life force. Do we give our power away to others? Okay, I'll do it. You tell me to do it, I'll do it. Do we give our power away, or do we stay in our power and make our choices based on our power and groundedness? It's ours to cultivate and care for. One of the most powerful sources of life force we all possess is our sexual energy, literally our sacred creative energy known as our kundalini. Our inner serpent fire ignites our divine potential residing within. The serpent reminds us to merge our primal life force energy with our higher visionary eagle mind to become balanced and fully alive. As a feathered serpent, this allows us to bring holistic insight into matters of survival and creation, assuring we see what's near and far. That is today. Tomorrow is a White Worldbridger, the first day of both 10-day cycles. So White Worldbridger was the first day of the cycle in October starting the 21st. White Worldbridger is the first day of the 10-day cycle beginning tomorrow. White Worldbridger is about the relationship between those on the other side who we say have died, but they only gave up their bodies. The being continues, the soul continues, however you want to refer to it. The consciousness of self continues outside of this body and is a part of the greater oneness. So Worldbridger bridges those worlds, the worlds that we feel like we're in. I'm in this human body on this earth that houses a lot of humans, a lot of animals, a lot of plants, oceans, ocean creatures. If you believe in ghosts or spirits, sometimes it's thought that spirits remain on the earth after they've lost their body and just continue to interact and work things out that they didn't feel like they got worked out when they were here. White Worldbridger, the three words are equalizes, death, opportunity. So there's a saying by the Maori people, or Maori people. I think the Maoris are from New Zealand. You were, you will be. Know this while you are. Your spirit has traveled both long and afar. It rose from the source. To the source it returns. The spark which was lighted eternally burns. Worldbridger represents revelation. Realization of the mortality of the physical body, the organic balance of life and death, the realm of neutrality which facilitates bridging and connection, intimate exchange with the spirit of the ancestors. The realm of neutrality which facilitates bridging and connection, intimate exchange with the spirit of the ancestors. And I'm currently taking a 5-month course on ancestral healing codes, connecting with the ancestry and releasing the traumas of the ancestors so that we can be free of those traumas ourselves right in the here and now. As a force of equalization, the inevitability of death humbles us all. As we contemplate how all things have an eventual ending, we are drawn into the richness of the now with the perception that death equals opportunity. We find a sacred key that speaks not only of our imminent passing beyond this physical realm, but also in regards to ego death. By continually shedding what no longer serves, and you might notice that in every healing session that I set up for the world, and everyone you've participated in, there are these words: anything that is no longer of my highest good, I choose to let go of that now. And every time that we let go of that is a death of the ego being a misperception of who we are on a higher level. By continually shedding what no longer serves, we learn to yield to death as the natural overturning of cyclical processes, release identities, and surrendering attachments grants us access to new worlds. I choose to let this go are great words. Worldbridger asks, what within your life is asking to be let go of or ended to make way for a new cycle to begin? What is discovered when you contemplate our human mortality? How can we overcome fear of death and find trust in the journey of life? How can we honor the reality of death in all its facets as a sacred ally of life? Let us welcome the power of death to liberate us from self-defeating habits, fears, and limitations. A succinct mantra for aligning with Worldbridger power is, I surrender to opportunity. And maybe embody that thought. I surrender to opportunity. And the Peace Pilgrim, lovely human being, had these words to say, when you know that you're only wearing the body, which can be destroyed, that you are the reality which activates the body and cannot be destroyed, how can you be afraid? Now, so that's today, Red Serpent, tomorrow, White Worldbridger, and I'm just going to give you the weekend, which Sunday will be Blue Hand, which is about the heart, knowing, accomplishing, and healing. Through skill, all things are transformed. Blue Hand embodies the power of creativity and mastery. Completion and attainment are the work of hands to bridge, to mend, to support, to lend. The great civilizations of humanity could never have been built if not for our hands. So this process is a 10-day process, completing on December 9th and completing on a day of the Blue Eagle, which is about the crown chakra. And it's about creating vision and mind. And by Hazrat Inayat Khan are these words: the journey towards perfection means rising above limitations, rising so high that not the horizon of one country or one continent only is seen, but that of the whole world. The higher we rise, the wider becomes the horizon of our view. Blue Eagle represents higher collective mind, visionary creativity, and planetary consciousness. Blue Eagle represents higher collective mind, visionary creativity, and planetary consciousness. Often shown with a globe in its eye, Eagle holds an expansive scope, a grand planetary perspective. Seeing with a broad and objective view, we travel beyond our limited or narrow perceptions of ourselves, our lives, and our world, elevating our consciousness to meet with the planet mind. We can discover what our unique personal contributions are to assist the positive transformation of our shared reality, one step at a time. All who choose to attune to the planetary mind help inspire our collective consciousness to honor and serve the evolution of our living planet and global society. Blue Eagle directs, voyage into the vast creative landscape of your soul. Discover unlimited clear seeing, fertile imagination, and groundbreaking ideas. Vision is a gift. Portray and reveal so others may also see. Bring your perspective from the highest, most all-encompassing viewpoint possible. Access the visionary within, seeing and believing in that which has not yet manifest. Give flight to your sacred vision. I have a feeling I'm going to find watching this video a number of times useful for me as we navigate our way through the next 10 days. May it bring you into a consciousness that feels connected with the oneness of the universe. One consciousness. It's what we're moving towards. Individuality within the one consciousness. You'll recognize yourself as yourself. You'll recognize yourself as well in others. Hope this serves you well, that you find it useful, and that you change in the ways that benefit the whole. NowMustGo.